Hey, welcome back. So, yeah, I'm not making much progress, but that's the game, man. This is going to be 200 episodes long. This could be my longest series. What was my longest series? Maybe Ocarina. I was just looking at that one and it was like 75 videos. I could beat that. But at least I know what to do. Like, I'm never gonna get lost in this game. There's one part where you have to get water for a guy, and I'm like, where do you get the water? I always forget, but that's easy. And then the part where you're in the Rocket, Team Rocket hideout. That's a little bit of like a maze. Whatever. Let's go talk about Spider-Man. I saw Spider-Man, so spoilers for Spider-Man. No Way Home. I liked it, I guess. It's fine. Can I say that I liked the first two better? Probably. I don't know. I'll have to see it again before I decide. The whole premise of... This isn't really a spoiler, but... because it's in the trailer. The whole premise of the movie is Spider-Man, Peter Parker, and his girlfriend and his friend Ned want to go to college together. But because Spider-Man is like public enemy #1 now because his identity was revealed and he killed... everybody thinks he killed Mysterio. Like, he doesn't go to jail, but he's kind of canceled. So the schools don't want to be... so they all want to get into MIT. But none of them get in because they're like, well, we don't want... MIT doesn't want to be associated with you because, like, you're a murderer. So then he goes to Doctor Strange and he's like, can you make everybody forget that I'm Peter Parker? And Spider-Man? It's kind of a dumb premise to me. Oh no, here's the dumb part. The whole thrust of the movie comes from when Doctor Strange is doing the spell. Peter is like annoying him and he's like, oh, can you do this and can you do this? And then the spell gets messed up. That's stupid. That's a stupid concept. Like, they couldn't come up with anything better than that. I kept thinking, like, okay, Doctor Strange did it on purpose. Like, he messed up the spell on purpose. But that never happens. And apparently there's going to be a Doctor Strange movie, The Multiverse of Madness, which is also based on the same premise, where, like, oh, he actually has to fix the multiverse now. They couldn't come up with a better concept to create the multiverse than, like, Peter Parker annoying him while he's making a spell. I really didn't like that. Like, why couldn't Peter Parker just go to Rutgers? Like, why does he have to go to MIT? I think the thing is, like, nobody's letting him into school. But he could have found, like, a community college to go to with his friends if he really wanted to. So here's a spoiler, huge spoiler. I didn't know... apparently they're setting up another second trilogy, which is like a real Spider-Man trilogy. And this first trilogy was like an Avengers Spider-Man trilogy. Because obviously in the comic books, Spider-Man's like never really with the Avengers. He's kind of doing his own thing. But in this universe, Spider-Man's kind of with the Avengers and like he's with Tony Stark. And Tony Stark gives him all this stuff. But Spider-Man has never really been that. He's usually just kind of been a lone spider. And he does his own thing. And nobody knows who he is. And so, kind of revealing that Spider-Man is Spider-Man, it goes against the comics, I guess. And they don't want to do that. So they do a reset at the end. And all three of the first three movies kind of like they never happened. Because nobody remembers Peter And Aunt May dies. There's a spoiler. And the guy, Happy, doesn't know who Spider-Man is. Nobody, even Doctor Strange, doesn't know who Spider-Man is. I'm just gonna run till I find a Pikachu. Should I try to catch all 150 Pokemon? I think I did do that once, but... Gotta get you all. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. So apparently at the end of the third movie, this movie, it's like he's in a really cheap apartment in New York, in Queens probably. And so, like, that's Spider-Man. That's who Spider-Man's supposed to be. So this is kind of like a prequel trilogy for, like, the real Spider-Man. So we'll see what they do. I'll watch the next movies. I like Spider-Man. So, I mean, I gotta talk about, like... really the only reason... I mean, it's a big reason, but... And they don't do a bad job of this. But they bring back, spoilers, my man Toby's back, and he's in for a big part of the movie, and Andrew Garfield's there, so you got your 3 Spider-Mans, and the 3 Spider-Mans, like, fight together at the end. I thought they were just gonna have, like, little cameos, like, oh, look, there's Toby, but he's in the movie for, like, a half an hour at the end, and he's a big part of it. My favorite part of the Toby's movie was probably Doc Ock and Toby have a scene together. I got a little choked up there because I'm like, oh, they're friends now, because Doc Ock kind of becomes like a good guy at the end because they fix him. And so obviously Doc Ock and Toby were like friends in Spider-Man 2. And then he turns evil and Spider-Man has to kill him. Or he just dies. Uh-oh, am I out of Pokemon? Gotta get your bolt. Gotta get your bolt. So that was my favorite part. They kind of like have a nice moment where I forget what they say, but it's like, Toby and Doc Ock, they're friends. So that was good. And Toby and Andrew Garfield have a nice scene where, like, Andrew Garfield's kind of being like, I'm the stupidest Spider-Man, I'm so lame. And Toby's like, no, you're not bad. We like you. You're okay. I like that. They did a good job. And Green Goblin's really good. It's pretty cool to see the Green Goblin after 20 years. Like, Willem Dafoe as Green Goblin. It's pretty crazy. And he still did such a great job. I wonder if they put, like, makeup on him, because he looked exactly the same in my mind. And so did Doc Ock, too. He looked really good. I think he had some CG. What's the guy's name? The lizard guy. He was kind of the least interesting, but they even had a kind of a good arc for Jamie Foxx. That was a good movie. I went and I saw it with my parents. That was good. Like, I need to do more stuff like that with my parents. Because I liked it, and I could tell they liked it, like, because I liked it. That's the thing. Sometimes I go, like, home with them, and then we just kind of sit around and we don't do anything. And I'm like, oh, that wasn't that great. It was because, I mean, you don't talk and you don't do anything. You gotta do stuff. So, And then we went, no, what did we do? Oh, we watched Hamilton together on Disney, because my mom had never seen it, and I knew she would like it, so I was like, let's watch it. That's what I have to do. I never do that. I have to be like, I want to watch Hamilton. Do you want to watch it with me? I wanted to watch Hamilton. But before, like a couple years ago or whatever, I just would have been like, oh, like if I would just mention it, I'd just be like, oh, did you guys ever watch Hamilton? And they'd be like, no. But really, I'd be like, I want to watch it. But I wouldn't really say it. Like, you just do, that's it. That's it. It's that simple. Just say it. You want to watch Hamilton. That's what I did. I had that kind of epiphany, like when I was with them in the shower, and I was thinking like, I want to watch Hamilton today. What if I just told them, like, hey, let's watch Hamilton? I never do that. It sounds stupid. I had only seen it once, and I wanted to watch it again, and my parents had never seen it, and there's no, like, sex scenes in it, so I'm like, okay, this is perfect. I watched Terminator with my parents once. Did I ever mention that? That was awful. Because there's like a 3-minute long sex scene in it. It's gross. So what else did I do? That was my Christmas. It was good. I just 4 days with my parents and doing better at talking, I guess, a little bit. I don't know. No, my dad's side of the family, we usually see them every Christmas Eve, and we saw them again on Christmas Eve. I never talk to them. I have such a hard time talking to them. I don't know why. And they have 2 kids, like, who are really young. They're like 6 or 5 or 7. And I feel so awkward around them because, like, I remember one time a couple years ago, I wasn't saying anything, and the kid was like, who's that guy? I was like, why is he so quiet? And I'm just like, kill me. I'm gonna die. I guess that's it for today. I'll just kill this guy. Last thing is, you guys gotta remind me to call my Nana. She's 99, and I went to see her on Christmas Day. And she used to just be like kind of satisfied with me going and seeing her like a couple times a year. But when I saw her this time, well, first of all, she was talking about my brother and like, oh, your brother never calls me, and he's stupid. She says, her thing is, she's always like, well, what the hell's the matter with him? He never calls me. But she used to be okay because like I lived close to them and I would go to see them a bunch. But now I don't call her, and I'm like, it's kind of awkward for me to call them, but I have to get over that. So I like hold me accountable. Like, I gotta get over that, and I gotta call my Nana. And she this last time I saw her was the first time I saw her since I moved. And when I left, she started like tearing up, and she's like, I was thinking maybe because she's like getting super old. Like, she's always been old to me. When I was born, she was 8 years old. But she's 99, and she can still like kind of talk and understand me, and so she's like, she gets really emotional. It's like she was crying when I left, and she's like, you call me. Like, she never used to be like that. But I think she's like, okay, for real. She's been saying this for the past 20 years, but she's like, it's almost, I'm almost done. And she knows, I mean, she could live another 20 years, but it's the first time I've ever felt this way about her. But like, it seems like she's starting to go, like she's ready or something. I mean, she's always been ready, but I think she's done, and I don't know. I can just tell like a difference from her that I haven't seen before, of her just being like, it's almost 100 years. It's a good run. Time to go. It is interesting how it's kind of amazing, but I guess I don't know how I would feel at 99, because a part of me thinks, like, you're 99, you're tired, you just want to go, but another part of me thinks like how profound it would be to be like, to think about your life so long, and to see your great grandkids, and every time she looks at, like, every time I'm around her, she's like crying like, oh my god, my great grandkids, they're so beautiful, you're so beautiful. To be that emotional is kind of a pretty awesome thing too, to like still be able to work up those kind of emotions when you're 100 years old. Like, you had a kid, and then that kid had another kid, and then that kid had another kid, and I don't know, I'm kind of hoping she can live another 10 years, because she might have a great grandkid, because one of her great grandkids is like 20, so I'm like, he could do it. If he's like 30, he might have a kid by the time he's 30. I want to see that. Like, what would that be like to see your your great grandkids. Your grandkids have grandkids. Your grandson is a grandpa. That's ridiculous. Oh my god. That's like unfathomable. Whatever. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.